Hello, everyone. It's Friday Takeaway, and our great guest today, Melda Hamarat, the global head of online grocery for Unilever Ice Cream Now. Hello, Melda, and please share a couple of words about yourself and what do you guys do at the Ice Cream Now?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me, Stefan. I was always listening to your podcast, and now it's great to be in one of them. Um, as Ice Cream Now team, we're actually the quick commerce team of Unilever Ice Cream. We are trying to find some opportunities to serve our consumers in this channel that are already on the delivery platforms. They're either looking for some food delivery or grocery delivery or a dessert delivery, and we're trying to serve with our beautiful ice cream brands to the consumers that are available in this channel. Yeah, so the Ice Cream Now team actually has developed over time, over the past few years, as this we see that this space is actually growing 10x. And as you can imagine, it's been a total roller coaster, as the space, the only kind of constant is the change in this space.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we saw a new evolution of this industry. So the food delivery aggregators expanding their offering to grocery verticals and beyond, and then pure grocery delivery players popping around the world, with a lot of consolidations that happened and expected. And of course, then last but not least, the retailers joining this game, either developing their own solution or partnering with the aggregators. So it's been a lot of things happening over the past few years. And
Right.
also, besides that, media platforms bringing their own quick commerce shops like TikTok shops. So it's yeah, with all these changing, as the Ice Cream Now team, we're also trying to adapt and adjust where and how we can serve our consumers the best.
Very exciting. Can't wait to discuss more.
Nice.
Please tell us more about the Ice Cream Now division and the Unilever. What do you guys do there? And how has the department been developing with the boom of the on-demand sector?
Yeah. So, well, Ice Cream Now team is actually the on-demand delivery team of Unilever Ice Cream. So, what we're trying to do is we're trying to find opportunities to serve the consumers in the space that they're really, who are on the delivery platforms, who are either looking for a meal delivery or a grocery delivery or a dessert delivery. And while they're looking at this, we want to make sure that our products are there when they're looking for this.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we're actually collaborating with a lot of quick commerce partners across the world who have a great expertise over this space. And through our brands, we're trying to make sure that people actually find the right portfolio, the right products that they want to have in the moment of order.
Could you please open the angle about Unilever and Ice Cream Now team? Why do you guys invest and dive so much into the on-demand delivery space? Because many FMCGs and the classic retailers, they're very skeptical about online in general, but also about this whole pure player quick commerce boom, and even the aggregators, right, are very questionable to them. Why do you guys see it as a big opportunity? And could you please share what are those opportunities in front of us?
Yeah. So actually, it's quite straightforward. I mean, digital commerce has always been at the forefront of our growth. So we're where we want to grow. And it's as simple as go where the consumers are, right? So there's a huge demand at the moment for quick commerce. Lots of people are before Corona and after Corona, they are used to ordering food and groceries online. Um, before it wasn't that fast of a delivery, but now they also have the option of having it in below 2 hours, below 1 hour delivery, so they're also kind of enjoying that convenience. And for us, there's a huge group of people to reach out through these apps. And we had previously also seen, even before Corona, that US, Turkey, China, these big markets already starting this business quite heavily. And actually, consumers getting used to ordering food and groceries online and in a quickly manner. And hence, the growth was there. And then we actually saw this spreading around the world, especially after the quick commerce boost in 2021. So I think there are two angles. First one is from a consumer perspective. Um, this space is truly designed to solve for a convenience need of the consumers. And we saw that actually consumers, when they used it, they got used to it. And they really tasted the the nice taste of convenience, in a convenience way, groceries delivered or food delivered to their doorsteps. And what we saw is actually the more mature a market gets, consumers are used to it, and they actually start ordering more bigger basket sizes, and this becoming part of their routine shopper mission. So
Right.
actually, it became a fundamental part of their channel choice. So that's very important for us to be there. And the second one is more from a category perspective. So this is initially a convenience need, an impulse need, and some of the FMCG categories are more relevant to this channel than some others. So we see that soft drinks, confectionery, ice cream, these are some of the main categories which this channel actually strives in, where the consumers are really searching for this impulse categories. Of course, like as I said, the more this business actually grows, it's becoming a more full shopping mission, a more bigger groceries basket. But yeah, these categories are very relevant, and as the number one ice cream company in the world, we should definitely be there to tap into to this opportunity.
Absolutely. And I think that everyone should be online, and online is new black. You cannot survive without being online. But still, there are a lot of skepticism, right? And the industry still needs a lot of money, right? What do you think is the main reason why some of your competition or and some of the retailers are still that skeptical? Is it just the mindset, or is it really that the market is so early that it's hard to see and you guys see something that most people don't?
First of all, what is unknown is always scary for people. So people, if they don't know and if they don't necessarily relate with, they would always be the kind of the naysayers. Um, when internet came up decades ago, there were also people that were like non-believers, like what is this and stuff. And look where we are now. So I think it's proven that there is a consumer demand for this, even way before COVID, because some people relate this channel growth to COVID, and after COVID,
Right.
there is this belief that no, it's gonna collapse. But actually, it was there before. It just fastened. The development of this business actually just fastened with the need to stay home. But as I said, I think it's just a matter of uh, people who are not necessarily seeing this relevance with themselves, people who are not using this channel, and people actually that don't need this channel.
Right.
So not every age group, not every socioeconomic level is it takes this channel as relevant as some others. So I think it's just a matter of need, but also from a financial and economic perspective, I think there is a bit of a lack of patience, I must say.
Right.
It like all the players are expected to be profitable in just few years now, whereas I can imagine like when the offline players also started, they also needed some time to reach to that profitability level. But of course now the economic context is a little bit more under stress, under pressure. So all these players are trying to do their best in terms of optimizing their operations, trying to reach to more profitable baskets, increasing their average order values, and less of a kind of a hyper growth that we used to see back in the old days.
Right.
So I think it's a bit of a mixed reasons.
You raise a very nice point that since the beginning of the turbulence in the economy, things changed a lot, and of course, change of the climate highly affected the industry, both pure players, quick commerce, and aggregators. Right? It's the time for consolidations. It's the time for efficiency, and nobody is growing at all cost. You guys work with both pure players and the quick commerce startups and omnichannel with everyone who is doing anything online. How do you guys see the future of the sector, of the on-demand sector specifically, the pure players, the aggregators, and the on-demand model in general? Is it going to be more consolidations to come? Is it going to be more players differentiating themselves that, well, I'm just going to do one thing or another thing, or rather everyone trying to do everything at the same time? What are your projections and maybe your vision on the market scene?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Actually, like yesterday, a colleague of mine also asked if I had like a crystal ball, what would I think will happen in the next 5 years? It's quite difficult to guesstimate this because it all ends up also how much further investment these players can still get, and
I would
it's
say number one question.
yeah. Like if you can estimate what's going to happen with interest rates, please let me know. So it's really a big question. Um, but nevertheless, I think all the players are trying to do their best, as I said, like to reach to the profitable levels, be it pure players, be it more the aggregators. I think how I see it is I'm definitely very optimistic and positive about the future of this channel. As I said, since the consumer demand is there, the apps
Mm-hmm.
are still very relevant to a need that has been created. From a more business angle, yeah, the first question would be, yeah, are they going to get more funds? Second question is, are they taking the right actions to become profitable, both in their operations but also in their user interface, as well as the like optimizing the baskets and their portfolio. And the third one would be to understand if there's other revenue streams going beyond groceries and food verticals, but will there be, more verticals that they need to accept and start within their business to actually create extra revenue streams. I think those will be the key factors that will define the future. But as I said, I'm very optimistic about this business. Actually, unlike common misbelief, it's been there since 2015 to even before, actually
Right.
2014, 13.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, and there are some players in some geographies that was definitely able to crack it. Lots of like some of these players actually are also quite aware of how to navigate in the turbulent times of inflation, etc. So I think it will be really interesting to see the future of this business. Yeah, but I'm personally super excited to be in this business and looking forward to what's going to happen next.
Did you know that food delivery aggregators spend approximately $500,000 to $1 million per market per year to equip their courier fleet? And this is just the investment in gear stock. Don't forget to budget at least 50 to 70,000 per market to manage and distribute it. I know, it sounds ridiculous, especially when you can outsource all the headache and cost to wear your brand. We will manage everything for you. Gear R&D, production, logistics, customs clearance, storage, management and distribution, courier support, and the list goes on. Through our IT solutions, your team will unlock insights on how to maximize brand awareness on the streets, increase the efficiency and rider satisfaction. Follow the link in description to sign up for the demo ASAP.
Speaking about the pure players and the aggregators, right? What is the biggest difference that you could highlight for you guys as a supplier, as an FMCG player, between the operations, operating your own dark store and operating with the small and medium businesses, or with the big supermarket chains, right? Because there are a lot of difference, and one model is more lean, the other one is more cost consuming, but there are also the outcomes of these investments, and one setup versus another. Maybe you can share more about the potential growth points for both verticals, for example?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, both models are equally relevant for us. As I said, our objective is always about go where consumers are. Consumers are got familiar with the pure players, the dark store players. They also then got familiar with the dark stores of the aggregators. And they also got then familiar with the regular familiar offline retailers that they see on the aggregators. So
Right.
they really they also went through quite a evolution over the past few years. So I think, of course, as a FMCG supplier, we would like to support our partners as strongly as possible for them to through us reach the consumers wherever they are, and whatever they would like to have it delivered in 30 minutes, in 45 minutes, through these rapid grocery delivery apps. Yeah, I think the potential of the business in both models are very strong, especially, yeah, in some regions, one model is actually the dominating model. Like we see in Southeast Asia, it's really about the retailers driving their own delivery channels, actually. And then also being on the aggregator platforms. Whereas in Europe, it's a little bit more skewed, or like half, I would say, with more dark store model players, as well as the aggregators, and aggregators with retailers and aggregators with dark store. So it really depends on the geography, but overall, I think consumers are really getting familiar with both the dark store players, as well as and they feel it's nice to see the quality retailers that they already know from their offline purchase behavior on these online apps, and they don't need to wait for a next day delivery, but more of an immediate delivery for their impulse needs.
You have been sharing about the customers, that customers are still there, they want to buy online, they like on demand concept. Has there been a change after COVID kind of slowed down and we don't have it anymore, no lockdowns for some time? Have you seen the changes in the customer behavior and their preferences? Because there are new events that came in right after COVID, so it's also definitely affecting the customers. But from the habits perspective, from the preferences perspective, could you please share your view on the market before COVID, during COVID, and maybe after COVID, if we could analyze it like that?
Yeah.
And what is the main difference, or maybe there is no difference, it's just quite a steady evolution?
Oof, that's definitely not. It wasn't quite a steady evolution. But let's start with the pre-COVID. So pre-COVID, this business was actually present across few markets, not so many markets, but few big markets. And we actually saw that the demand has been steadily growing. The more consumers got used to the beauty of convenience, their frequency of purchase also increased through this channel. This channel became a part of their channel portfolio. And then after COVID, of course, people got stuck at home. So it's really like the relevance increased even more. So it was the perfect moment for people to actually get to know this channel even more. And of course, at the same time, there was all the user acquisition campaigns of all the players. So it was like the perfect match for them it was the right time for them to actually try. Yeah, and then they, of course, during those 2-3 years, there has been a very strong user acquisition campaign from most of the players, which wasn't necessarily sustainable, but it really was done on a purpose of increasing penetration, increasing reach, so that people actually start getting the habit, building the habit of ordering from the quick commerce apps, which I think definitely was successful. But I think it was too fast of a moment that they had to kind of stop or lessen the user acquisition campaigns due to the investment being much lower and the overall global economic context. So I think the demand, the demand that was there just because of the crazy promotions and the new, like the free offers and everything, that one is no longer there. Yes, because that one was not necessarily a very sustainable demand anyway. But the sustainable demand part with the core consumers who really like this channel and want to stay with this channel, that they actually stayed. They didn't leave after COVID. And now we're seeing a sustainable growth of this channel month over month, with even with less promotions and lessened monthly, the user acquisition campaigns and all. So for sure, before, during, and after Corona, there has been a wavy demand. But just as a personal example I can give you, my parents, they're above 60 years old, and they're definitely not, like they have all the time in their hand. They're both retired, and still they use quick commerce apps because it's just practical, it's convenient. They don't need to, they're living in Istanbul, so they don't need to think about taking the car, getting stuck in the traffic, finding a parking place, carrying all the all the bags back home. So they really got used to that practicality and that convenience. So it's no longer about just a very tiny group of niche people using this channel, but it's really appealing to a bigger consumer segment, depending, of course, where you are in the world and how much disposable income you have for this channel and how much you need it. But yeah, I think the habits are there to stay. That could be my one-liner. It's not just a 1 year, 2 years thing that will come and go, but the habits are indeed there to stay.
Agree with you. The people are seeking for convenience, and I can only second the topic of that. It really depends on the location. It really depends on the geography, where one or the other model is going to be more suitable and more sticky to the customers, right? Because if, for example, we consider that quick commerce is a low basket, couple of items solution for Europe, right? It's not going to be the same, for example, in Africa, because they have much bigger communities. They don't have as developed infrastructure, and they just leave more people in one apartment. So when somebody is ordering something online, the basket is going to be naturally bigger, and because of the lack of alternatives, people are actually going to come and order from you, right? So it's really, really very different. Market to market, continent to continent, and the cultural aspect and the urban aspect, right? What is the type of area we're talking about is very, very defining for the model, right? For which model is going to be more suitable. There is still a lot of investment going into the sector of online grocery, and one of the biggest fields where aggregators and all the retailers see a lot of potential is online advertisement. Everybody is trying to utilize the space in the apps. Everybody is trying to turn it into the new revenue stream, and it has been the strategy for Deliveroo, Just Eat Takeaway, Uber Eats. Everybody is trying to invest into these new tools, and you guys are the direct benefiters of those tools, right? Because you really need ways how to reach to the consumers and how you can leverage these platforms to sell more. Can you please tell us about how you're what are the actions that you take to maximize the sales through these platforms, and uh, how the development of this advertisement technology within the apps is affecting your work and your sales?
Yeah. This is one of my favorite topics. I think, yeah, it's really fascinating to be at the, again, heart of a completely new industry evolution called retail media. And as a FMCG player, we're in constant search of finding the best channel to reach our consumers. Before, it used to be more the traditional media channels like, TV, out of home, social, or display. It is still there, of course. We're using all these channels to reach our consumers. But now we're seeing retailers also becoming the media channels.
Right.
Retailers, quick commerce players, they're all becoming media channels. So media and commerce are really, really merging to each other. And it's a great opportunity for companies like us to be able to stand out and trigger consideration much closer down on the lower funnel in the consumer journey. For us, conversion is all about consumers finding the right product at the right place with the right price point. So visibility is key for us to actually maximize our conversions. It's important to understand how we can serve consumers in these apps throughout the consumer journey. So in every step of the consumer journey, wherever they're in terms of the retail media availability, it's good to have these ad inventories available to us in a seamless way without disrupting the consumer journey in the apps to best serve the consumer needs in their journey. And a few of these examples are actually like just to make it more tangible. In the offline consumer journey, you always have the part of the assortment that is in the checkout, kind of over the counter, right? And to replicate that kind of a trigger moment, an impulse trigger moment in the delivery apps, a checkout filter, recommended products at the checkout is also equally important to just really replicate that behavior, that trigger moment, that shopper journey, but on the online world. And there are quite a lot of options that is now currently being served to the FMCG suppliers like us nowadays, and it's really fascinating that how also fast this sector is growing from a retail media angle. Another point is that the beauty of digital commerce is that we can actually make data-driven decisions. And through these retail media touch points, um, through understanding where we are actually losing or where we're actually gaining consumers in the journey through these touch points, is very important for us to understand where to invest, how to invest, to use our investment in a very efficient way um, through these retail media touch points.
Right. And could you maybe give some advice of what to the aggregators or the pure players? What are the tools that you're missing, or what are the key touch points in the app that you guys would like to have, for example, or already have that are working well and need further development?
Yeah. I think it's all about the objective of what you want to reach, what you want to achieve. I think both awareness driving and as well as conversion driving touch points should be available to the suppliers. So both on the homepage, the on-page banners, and more awareness driving touch points that are in the beginning of the consumer journey, that are in the upper funnel, is definitely a must-have. But also more towards the lower funnel, so in the conversion side, when they're about to check out, how can we serve and what kind of touch points could be available for FMCG suppliers like us to trigger more impulse need, more top up shopping, and to fill that basket for a free delivery kind of option. So I think both, depending on the objective, it's very important for suppliers like us to have the option to plug and play where we need. And I think the second important thing is for to be able to invest in a more performance-driven manner. So all these touch points are very important for us to reach our consumers. However, we also would like to understand the impact of our efforts. So how much return of investment, or
Right.
how many people we're reaching, how many people we're losing in certain touch points. So I think having that visibility through data is very important for us to also continue increasing our investment in this channel.
Very interesting. And do you think that the development of this technology and the development of aggregators and applications, do you think it is something that can attract more of the retailers, more of the FMCGs, where
Absolutely.
basically they will give the clear rules of the game and say, okay, guys, here are the numbers, here are the tools, here are how you sell more? Is it something that can actually unlock the doors and the new potential for this field, and something that can supersede the industry again? Because the VC capital is not coming anytime soon, right? And there needs to be some other capital coming in for these players to keep on growing and developing. Do you think it can come from this advertisement money?
100%. Definitely, we're seeing, especially in the more developed markets and the more developed players, this is becoming a huge stream of business, like a stream of team inside. So some of the players developing their own teams or their own ad platforms, their own capabilities, as well as their own teams. So it's very important to understand. Yeah, it is indeed. It should, or it will become one of the key revenue streams for these players. I think it's a natural evolution of a online retailer in general. Yeah.
And what about the social media? Because I know that you guys are
Yeah.
also quite active in the social media.
Yeah.
Is it also something that is driving the online grocery sector, or is it not there yet? And how do you guys look at the social media in general?
Yeah. Social media is a very important channel for us to leverage, of course, as it is for every FMCG, I must say. I think there are a few things that we're doing. So first of all, every year we are trying to bring more awareness to our brands and showcase our new products and what we stand for, what we're doing with through our brands. And these contents are really important also to drive a one-click seamless shopper journey to whenever they want to buy, whenever they see those ads on social media. So it's really important to actually make sure that whenever, if they want to reach to buy an ice cream a product, they're just one click away. So I think shoppable content is actually key in terms of social media strategy. The second part is about the new media, new social channels, if you can call them social, especially gaming or yeah,
Interesting.
Web3, like yeah, these platform or TikTok, I must say, it's of course a very important social channel. These platforms are key for us to continue reaching to new users, especially Gen X, Gen Z, and Gen Y, or even Gen Alpha now, to yeah, to be present there so that we can maximize our reach to that audience as well. So influencers are a key element through which we reach in these platforms to our consumers. So yeah, there's quite a lot of initiatives going on. We're also in the beginning of this journey, and we're trying to understand how to play, where to play the best. But it's definitely a fun place to be at. And it's impressive how fast it's growing. And yeah, looking forward to what's gonna come next.
Really awesome. And you just mentioned that you guys do things in Web3 and gaming. Maybe you can share some of like crazy examples or crazy experiment projects that you did or that you want to do
Yeah,
in terms of trying new things, because I know that you constantly experiment, and there was this Web3 event, virtual reality, where you could order the ice cream online and the Deliveroo guy would bring it directly to you. Do you
yeah,
guys work on these collabs with
yeah,
other industries?
yeah. That's a very good example, as you very clearly explained. And another one actually is, yeah, I mean, um, yeah, some of these platforms like TikTok or other social media platforms which we really test and learn on the live streaming bit. It's a very heavily popular tool to use, especially in China, which is driving a lot of excitement and attraction from the consumers. They're spending a lot of time watching and listening to these streams. So for sure, we have ongoing big projects on how to create more conversion in these new channels as well, and not just sticking with our core focus.
People are going to live online soon. We're
Yes,
all going to stay on
absolutely.
these streams and the social medias and whatnot. And definitely over the counter stuff in the shop is going to see the drop, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Generation
absolutely.
Z, Y, and Alpha are not going to leave it any chance.
Yes.
Maybe you have something else to share with the audience. Maybe there is
Yeah.
something that you wanted to say and share about
So
Unilever.
um I think this I just want to maybe share, like, this space is a very exciting space, and I want to just say that we're in the beginning of this journey. Even though it's been very long time in quick commerce. It's actually only been a few years that we're seeing this, and that we're actively talking about it. Um the Yeah, it's yet to come. It's gonna be even bigger and stronger in terms of consumer demand and pool. So I'm super excited to be in this sector, and I'm really looking forward to how things will develop. As every other quarter, there's a new business model coming up, or business models merging to each other, and now retail media popping up, and retail media becoming a huge industry and a revenue booster for these players, and it's a constant evaluating where to focus, where to play, how to play, kind of a journey. It's very exciting. So yeah, I think overall, wherever this business is going, we want to be there, and we want to continue playing in this channel as strong as possible.
Amazing. I'm not sure if I can name any numbers, but I know that you guys are playing very strong in this field. So uh, big heads up to you guys and to all the Ice Cream Now Unilever team. And thank you very much for joining the podcast, and thank you very much for sharing all these amazing insights with us.
Thank you so much, Stefan, for inviting me.